Hola amigos, what is up? This is Tales4Braga and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy IV Advance. In the last episode, we started up the Land of Summons subquest, and in today's episode we're going to be continuing on with it. Now the first thing I want to do real quickly is get this guy out of my way. Thank you, please, just, there we go. And buy ourselves the Blitz Whip for Rydia. And that should actually just about do it. So, equip this because it's always nice to have better equipment than what we have now. And we can also take this as opportunity to sell the Chain Whip and... Do we really need the Ice Brand anymore? No, we don't. Ice Brand, not important. What is important, however, is getting this fella out of our way again. Yay! Now, what really is important is starting up this boss fight that we're going to be doing. Now, we have two boss fights here in the Land of Summons. This is the Royal Chamber. We have to receive permission from Queen Asura. What brings you back? We need your help. Very well, but first you must prove your worth. That is how it is done here. Do you possess the strength and courage to challenge me? Sure, let's do this. Go ahead. I'm not one to judge you. Right, boss fight. Asura. Not to be confused with the weapons that Edge uses, called Ahura. No, this is Asura, the six-armed, three-headed freak woman. Listen, I really don't know much about mythology, to be honest. But if somebody could kindly tell me something a little bit about this boss, then that would be great. The only thing I know about this boss is that it is particularly annoying to fight. Not really that difficult in the Game Boy Advance version or the Super Nintendo version or anything, but obnoxious to fight nonetheless. And the reason being is that it has a constant stream of healing towards itself. However, casting Reflect is a great strategy as we can redirect that healing back towards us. Which is a good thing. Healing, always a good thing. For us. And we also somehow failed to summon. Don't know how that works, but let's roll with it. Let's do it, you know? So, this boss fight can be a little bit obnoxious at times, but you know, it's perfectly manageable. We've just need to be a bit, you know, pretty good at knowing what to attack and when to attack and why we should attack, and to attack aggressively. Now, every so often this boss is going to break out of their break out of being in Reflect status, which is alright. I mean, you can't expect them to be in Reflect permanently. And hey, we're putting out the damage here, so you know, it's pretty alright, and the boss can't really do much to hurt us anyway, aside from physical attacks, which we can kinda sorta shrug off, because, hey, we're us, and we are awesome. Well, maybe not Rydia. Nope, that was definitely not an awesome thing for Rydia to do, get hit there, but hey, you know, let's suck it up. Let's just progress. Once again, attacking aggressively, key to success. And I think we might actually have some items that we can throw. Can't throw the Ahura for some reason, that's a bit odd. No, we can't throw anything? We only have the Firma Shuriken? Well, I guess that's alright. I guess it's alright if we have to. But let's continue on. There's not really that much to say about this boss fight, honestly. Other than the fact that, once again, it will break out of being in its reflective state if we let it. If this goes on for long enough, it will stop being Reflectimify and instead be all just like, you know, hey, I'm gonna heal myself now. I don't know if it's a limited number of spells that hits it that causes it to break out of Reflect, or if it just breaks out of Reflect over time, a certain number of turns occur and stuff. And yeah, I guess this is kind of turn-based battling. Everything is on a set timer, so you know, slower spells take up more steps. So it's not completely active, there is timing to everything, and you know, that's perfectly alright. If it was completely active, I don't think I'd quite have something rather... fuck it, you know what, let's stop floundering about, let's just get some more healing in. And one of these days I would also love to see how much HP this boss has left. Actually, now would be a good time to check. Let's take out the, we had a bestiary somewhere. Oh, there it is. There we go, it's right where I left it. Bestiary, yeah, we're doing a pretty good number on it. Better than the last recording session. I did do a practice run of this boss beforehand just to familiarize myself with the strategy. And so far we haven't even run into any major hiccups with this boss fight. Nobody's died yet, which is great. The boss hasn't taken itself out of, you know, the reflective state. Though, I guess as soon as I say that, they're probably gonna do something. But that's alright, that's alright, I expect them to. Helps add to the challenge. And I like a challenge sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes, and this boss fight providing a reasonable amount of challenge is a good thing, I think. Honestly, this is one of the more unique boss fights in the game, and I do love fighting this boss fight. I just wish I had known about the reflect trick sooner, so I wouldn't have to do all that level grinding. Really, when I was a kid, I didn't know that I could cast white magic on the enemy, so the reflect trick never occurred to me. I was always just, you know, healing, and I was like level 50 before I finally beat this boss, which... Oops, that slows down. Well, I guess that's alright, provides a little bit more, you know, experience points for us. Oh, no, the boss has actually taken itself out of, Reflect. It has managed to unfuck itself. The boss needs severe refucking. Hold on. That's probably not something I should be saying, but... There we go. Cast Reflect. Hopefully undo that healing. They've probably undone quite a bit of damage to itself, obviously. I can't refer to this as a her. I refer to it as an it. This boss is an it to me. And I know that probably sounds like really weird and stuff, but this boss is an it. I can't identify it as a woman. And I know it's supposed to be like a woman that has 3 heads for whatever reason. Yep, I'm not one to judge it. But I can't unsee it as being just an it. That's what it is, to me. Asura has, like, multiple, like, arms. More than 2 arms. And I know that I'm probably being, like, really prejudiced and stuff, but I don't find the whole 6-arm thing to be attractive. But hey, boss defeated. And Rydia has learned the Asura summon. Now, Asura will have one of 3 random effects. Either revive all fallen party members, cast Protect on all fallen party members, or heal them for about Kiraja levels. I think that's what the effects are. I'm not completely certain, but someone's going to correct me in the comment section down below, and I appreciate it. And, you know, stuff like that is quite alright. So, now that we're done with that, we've got another boss fight to take care of. Ooh boy. This one's in the same location, too. But you see, how Asura claimed that... Well, actually, how... If you talk to this guy beforehand, he claims that he's not the king. Turns out he is the king. So, we're going to be fighting King Leviathan! And his attack, Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave deals a moderate amount of damage. We're gonna cast Blitz here. Leviathan will also use a couple of ice-based spells as well. Mainly the spells it uses are ice and water. I find him to be a lot easier than, say, Asura is, but Asura just has an annoying gimmick to the battle. Leviathan does have some high-powered attacks, but it's nothing that we can't really handle. So, using Bolt of Judgment here, dealing as much lightning-based damage as we can. I really wish Cecil had like an electric sword or something like that. Cecil suddenly becomes Kai Kisuke from not Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear. Oh man, why did I think Kai Kisuke was from Blaze Blue? Oh fuck, what is wrong with... Somebody in the comment section down below is probably going to be saying, "Oh, you son of a bitch. I hate you. I hate you for thinking that Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear are the same game." And you know, you have anger that is directed to me for an appropriate reason. That was my bad, and I'm sorry that I messed that up for you guys. I'm sorry that this entire video was ruined just because I've been playing a lot of Blaze Blue recently and that's been on my mind. Then again, I've been playing a lot of Guilty Gear X2 recently as well, so maybe me fucking it up was a pretty dumb thing. Ooh boy, let's cast another... Actually, I want to cast Image here to show it off. Image is basically a single targeting blink. Edge can only cast it on himself and it doesn't dodge magic apparently? Okay, that's a new one on me. But it's actually a very good thing to have. So, it blocks melee attacks basically. Blink is a melee avoiding thing. It prevents you from taking damage from melee attacks, and in some versions of the game I think it blocks magic attacks as well. Either that or this boss just has... God, what is that? What is it called? Piercing magic? Omni-casting, I think? I really don't know. Somebody explain it to me. I'm not good at my Final Fantasy terminology. This comes from the fact that I'm not really too huge of a fan of Final Fantasy. I love a lot of the Final Fantasy games I've played, like this game, I love it to death. Final Fantasy 3, I love. Final Fantasy 6, I've been playing that a bit, or at least I did a stream of it once, and I loved it, and I liked it a lot. And Final Fantasy 12, I'll even go as far as to say that I've found Final Fantasy 12 to be a good game. I found it to be a genuinely enjoyable game. I don't own a copy, mind you, and the gameplay transition to an active time battle system and having to worry about everything in real time and not just in random encounters and stuff was a little bit, you know, it wasn't that fun. It wasn't as fun as it could have been, but hey, let's try stealing from Leviathan. Let's see if that will do anything. Probably won't. Yep, 2 damage. Oh well. 2's better than 4, I guess, in this case. Really don't know what I'm talking about at this point. Leviathan is once again not a... Or Leviathan really isn't a particularly interesting boss fight. He just does the typical boss thing, deals a lot of damage. Let's try Rage of the Gods. See if we can do some pretty good damage with this. Not bad, not bad. A melee attack at that point probably would have done more, but... You know, I'm not one to judge, I'm not one to hate, I don't want to harsh his mellow or anything like that. Because I've been in situations where my mellow has been harshed. And I can tell you now, having your mellow harshed is not a fun thing. I've been there, bro. I've experienced it. You don't know what it's like down in the mellow trenches. You merely adopted the mellow. I was born into it. How many bad jokes can we have in one video, I wonder? Let's find out. Or let's not find out, actually, and say we did. So, once again, laying on the damage, I did actually want to talk a little bit about something. I've actually been working with somebody to talk about changes that I might need to make to the channel. And they did bring up some pretty good points, how I would probably need a better channel trailer to draw people in, and I have actually put up a more proper channel trailer, I guess. They did say to make it as short as possible, and I did try to make it short and to the point. It isn't as short as it could be, but I do feel like I did a pretty good job with summing up what this channel does. Make a mockery of gaming videos. And I believe it is fairly effective. Maybe not as effective as playing Guilty Gear music without commentary, but hey, you know, it could work alright. They also did suggest that I change my icon, or my avatar on YouTube, which, you know, I can see where that could be a thing. They also suggested shortening my video lengths, and this is one that I'm taking the criticism seriously, but I don't necessarily want to change the video length on these things, and I realize that sometimes the video length can be a little bit long, and some of you people might have the attention span of a goldfish, and probably most of you haven't really been paying attention this entire time, so I probably just insulted all of you people that just view in for like 3 minutes. But hey, it happens. But I do see where maybe doing a little bit to shorten the video lengths or break them up a little bit better could work in my favor, and I do realize that sometimes having a 20-minute, 30-minute video might come as a turn-off to certain people. Once again, I don't want to have any intrusive cuts to the video, but maybe I do need to take a little bit more of that into consideration. And with a lot of games like Kirby, I do have somewhat of an excuse to have those shorter videos because it's a platformer and it's not story intensive, it's not an area where we have to worry too much about progress. We don't have to worry too much about Progresso soup here. So, you know, I'm gonna see what kind of changes to the channel I can make and what little bits of things I can improve upon. And I would like to improve how my videos are done. I would like to improve a couple of things about the videos and about the channel in general to draw in more people and to have a bit more viewer retention. So if there's anything else that you would really like to see improved upon and stuff, put that in the comment section on any video, put that in the comment section on my channel even. I read it sometimes. And you know, I'm not gonna turn you away instantly, I'm gonna take a look at what you guys have to say and take some of that into consideration. I would like to improve the quality of my videos even further, and I do believe that my videos at the moment are pretty much shit, so any unshitifying, you know, kind of advice you may have would be greatly appreciated. Let's Chocobo kick right now, though. How much damage does that do? Yeah! That was impressive. And I think this will be the last hit. Yup, there we go. Boss beaten. 7,000 experience points. Cecil gained a level. Leviathan, King of Summons, shall serve you. And we have learned Leviathan as well. Leviathan is a very, very potent ability to have. And it comes in handy when you're trying to deal as much damage as possible. So, let's get out of here. Actually, I would like to leave this general vicinity. There should be a teleporter somewhere. Where do you keep the teleporters, mate? Okay, that guy's just blocking the way. He's breaking the law. You know, just like Judas Priest, or that Motorhead cover. Not the cover of a Motorhead song, but Motorhead did a cover of Breaking the Law, and hey, we're back in the underworld! Hoo-ha! And I think this is actually a good enough spot to end the video off here. And normally I would like to progress through the main story, but this video has already gone on for 21 minutes, so we can afford to stop it here. I'm gonna see you guys later. This is Towns5Raga signing out. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.